Have you seen a confident person and thought, how are they so confident? What makes them confident? Are they born naturally with that confidence? Well, today I'm going to go through 5 characteristics and habits of very confident people for you to think about how you can start applying some of these into your life. Welcome back to my channel, The Self-Esteem and Confidence Mindset, with me, Johnny Pardo, here to help you boost your self-esteem and confidence. If you want a range of videos on self-esteem and confidence, then be sure to subscribe to my channel or hit the bell to be notified when I release a new video every Tuesday and Thursday. I wanted to talk about this topic today because it's often something I get asked about. So whether that's from coaching clients, whether it's just people reaching out from podcasts or YouTube or by social media, my Instagram, my Facebook, I often get, how are people so confident? And sometimes there's this misconception that confident people have zero fears. And people perceive me as confident, but I've had to work at it. I still have fears, and all confident people have fears. There's a misconception that confident people have zero fears. That is completely false. And not just me, but other people have admitted it as well, talking about how terrified they were going on stage, how terrified they were earlier on in their career, and various things like that. It's just that confident people have a transformed relationship with fear, in that they know there's always going to be fear, but they go through and do things anyway. So what are these characteristics? Let's go through these 5 characteristics now. The first one is confident people know that things might not go to plan. Something could go wrong, and there's a certain element of risk or the unknown, but they do it anyway. They realise that to progress, they have to take risks and go through that anyway. There is nothing certain in life. Nothing is certain. Now, we're in a year with the coronavirus where it's obviously blown a lot of things into a completely different situation for people and most of us. But even before that, things were uncertain. Nothing can be guaranteed. So therefore, if you're worried about something going right or something going wrong, that's not the right way to look at it, because things can go right, and I hope they do go right for you, but there's always a chance that something might not go to plan. But confident people know that, and they go ahead anyway because they realise taking action is what they need to do in order to progress. So that's the first one. Confident people are comfortable that things might not go to plan, but they could do, and that's why they take action anyway. Tip number 2 is, or characteristic number 2, is confident people do things over and over again to practice them. So in my self-esteem and confidence coaching, I go through, there's the psychology, your mindset, your conscious thoughts, your subconscious thought. Then there's your actions, what you're doing as one-off sort of things to overcome certain obstacles. And then there's your habits, what you're doing over and over again. Now, if you practice something over and over again, so whether that's your speaking, whether that's your writing, whether that's your singing, whether it's playing a certain sport, you're going to get more comfortable with it. And the more comfortable you get with something, the more confident you are. And confident people, even if they don't notice it, they're doing things over and over again. They're giving updates and meetings over and over again. They're writing over and over again, so they become confident writers. They're doing lots of interaction with people, so therefore they're getting more confident socially. So that's my next point. It's a very simple one, but easily forgotten. Confident people do things over and over again to feel more confident. Point number 3, and I touched on this a little bit in the introduction, is confident people feel the fear, and they know fear is going to come throughout any situation. They know that when they do something, they know fear could come along again. But when they go and conquer fear, they become more confident. They know that if they get over this challenge, this thing that's holding them back, they're going to be more confident. And I just want to emphasize again, you do not become more confident until you do confidence. Now, if something's too big a jump for you, you're terrified of giving a massive update in front of your whole company, Okay, yeah, you're going to be paralyzed. You might be paralyzed with fear at that moment. But if you break it down into little bits, like giving an update to someone else, then to a small group, and building up from there, you're going to build more confidence. And that's what I teach with clients who are scared to make that big jump. We break it down into small bits. So confident people know fear is a perfectly natural reaction, and it happens in all of us. But they break it down, they overcome it, and they build more confidence through doing it, and then it starts to reduce. So that's my third point. Confident people always know there's going to be fear or feelings of unease, and then they push through it. My question for you today is, what else do you think a confident person has in terms of characteristics? Drop yours in the comments below. Characteristic number 4, they do not let negative people near them or around them for much time because they've got a lot of self-respect for themselves. Now, you might be thinking, Johnny, this is easier said than done. I've got close family, I've got close friends, and they're negative people, but I can't just drop them from my life. No, there's some people who are not going to be able to drop out of your life, but you can reduce the amount of time you're spending with them. You can talk to them, tell them that they're sort of bringing you down. Be honest. That's all you can do. But there are certain people you can avoid or reduce out of your life. So do that. Confident people like to surround themselves with uplifting, feel-good people so they can bring themselves up as well. And they like to role model and follow other confident people so they can build themselves up. This is why I love going to events like UPW, being in personal growth events. I've got full of enthusiastic people who love what they do and love their life, and they're always looking to build themselves, and that's how I feel the confidence and build it up. So think about what confident people do here. They surround themselves with positive people and reduce the negatives. So I want you to think about how you can reduce the negative people in your life. And characteristic number 5 is confident people practice positive self-talk. They say nice things to themselves. Now, that's not to say no negative thought is going to pop in their head ever, because that's false. Negative thoughts are what our brain does. It tries to keep us safe. So these negative thoughts and criticisms will come into our head, and they can sometimes be from limiting beliefs, which are often obtained in early childhood years. The thing is, they acknowledge these voices, but they choose to not respond with them, and they choose to put positive talk into themselves. And this is a practice just every day, a few minutes when you get up and a few minutes before you go to sleep. Just say some compliments, nice things to yourself. You can't just drown out the negative voices. You've just got to bring in more and more positive self-talk, because that will naturally become your default setting. Of course, the odd negative one's going to pop in, but just acknowledge it and decide to go with the positive one, but practice it over and over again, because you won't become more positive and start feeling more confident until you practice that and telling yourself that over and over again. Okay, to wrap up today, what I've talked about is confident people do feel fear, they do get negative thoughts now and then, but the way they respond to it is effective. They choose to not get on board with it. They choose to focus on the positives. They choose who they surround with. They choose to take action anyway. So it's just a case of those. So if you can employ more of what I've just said into your life, you're going to become more confident too. If you would like more support or help with some of the points I've said around confidence, or there's a particular challenge you want to overcome because it's really holding your confidence back, then you can drop me an email, coaching@johnnypardo.com, where we can look at some one-to-one coaching and how we can improve your confidence even more. Thank you very much for watching today. If you like this video, be sure to give a like to this video so more people can see it and benefit from it. And of course, if you want more of this content, you can subscribe to my channel by hitting the subscribe button or the bell to be notified when I release a new video. Remember, do not skip Self-Esteem Day. I appreciate you, and I will see you in my next video.